Dragon Ball Z Harukanaru Densetsu is a Dragon Ball Z game on the Nintendo Switch. And one of the rare few Dragon Ball Z games I actually played on that system. Now, a lot of people were not a fan of the game. Sorry, my legs are itchy, right? My leg is a bit itchy. Now, I remember hearing a bit of negative reviews about this game. Not many people were fans of the particular game. And one of the soundtracks you're hearing in the background right now is from the said game. This is the encounter music when you are battling Cell. But this game, in my opinion, holds a special place in my heart. Dragon Ball Z Harukanaru Densetsu holds a special place in my heart as one of the few Dragon Ball games I actually ever beat. Yes, I actually did beat this game, and it was pretty damn hard. It was definitely a challenging game. And the reason why it is way more difficult than most regular Dragon Ball games is because it was a card game simulator. It was basically you tapping cards on a deck. It's sort of like Dragon Ball Z meets Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something along those lines. That's probably the best example I could probably give it. It's like a card game, basically. So basically there are multiple different types of cards. There are run cards, or hide cards, reverse cards, special cards, a special card, Z cards, where you can just choose your card to be whatever, attack cards, healing cards, and counter cards, and powering up cards, and guard cards. And all these cards, as I talked about, do all different kinds of things. But the obvious main ones you want to have is the striking cards. That allow you to do moves like the Kamehameha Wave, and the Final Flash, and all that other stuff. But as you level up throughout the game, you are given capsules, and you are given capsules to boost your health and your stats as you progress. I'm not going to go through everything bits about this game because the game is quite long. It basically goes through the entire Saiyan saga, through the Frieza saga, all the way to the Cell saga. Yeah, surprisingly, you don't even do the Buu saga in that game, which I guess in reality might have made the game a bit too long. I mean, the game is long enough as it is with just 3 sagas. But the point that I am making, this game was relatively challenging for me. And though it was challenging, I was able to beat it. And back in my old days, I had this little R4 chip. It was like a little DS R4 thing that allowed me to download all different kinds of games, and that's where I had Dragon Ball Z Harukanaru Densetsu. And because of that reason, there are obviously things you can do with those kinds of things, like you can activate cheat codes and all that stuff. So, after I did the main game, and also, you only get to play as 4 characters in that entire game, which is basically Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta. You have to unlock Vegeta after beating him in the Saiyan saga. You don't have Vegeta straight away. You have to unlock him after you beat him in the Saiyan saga. So, yeah, you have to wait a bit to get Vegeta, but regardless, you only get 4 characters to play as. And so, the topic of this video is me going over all the endings in this game. There are 4 unique endings for the 4 different characters. What? 4 endings, Patrick? Since when there were ever 4 endings in this game? Why, yes. This is something that for some same reason, I've looked it up on YouTube. I've searched this all over Google and even YouTube to see if anybody in the world knew about this. And every time I looked it up, there was always nothing. There was always nothing about it. Or either they just show the legit ending of the game, which is Gohan beating Cell. Which, yes, that is the legitimate ending to the actual story of Dragon Ball Z. Gohan does defeat Cell. But the reason why I say that there are multiple endings is because there's something unique that happens in the other three stories. And no matter how many times I looked it up, for some reason there have been no videos about it whatsoever. No videos or anything along those lines about it. So that's why I thought I'd make this video talking about something very unique that can actually happen in this particular game. So in Dragon Ball Z Harukanaru Densetsu, on the final mission for all 4 characters, you get the ending to the game. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Gohan because we already know his ending is that he does defeat Cell. So you're probably saying, wait, so are you saying there's an alternative ending, like, oh, you die and you get a bad ending? No. Obviously, you dying will result a game over, so that obviously doesn't change anything. That obviously doesn't change anything. The alternate endings to this game relate to Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta. The final missions that they have in this game. Piccolo's final mission is when he merges with Kami, goes to Ginger Town to see Imperfect Cell, and also his battle with Android 17. And also his second battle with Cell, Imperfect Cell, when Cell arrives to the battlefield to get to Android 17. Vegeta's final mission is when he battles second form Cell, Semi-Perfect Cell, and then makes him become perfect. You know, what causes the whole Cell becoming perfect in the first place. Good job, Vegeta. And obviously, Goku's final mission in that entire game is the Cell Games match, where it is the Cell Games match, where basically you gotta get the Dragon Balls, all the Dragon Balls, get Dende, and then the Cell Games match. So, those are the 3 final missions for those characters. Now, there's a specific reason why I'm talking about them, mainly than Gohan, because obviously Gohan is the true ending of the game. He gets the final blow on Cell. And the reason why I say that these 3 missions are unique is because something happens in these endings. There's something that happens when you do these particular missions. When you are at the closing part of the level, you get 2 options. 2 options will appear for you. There will be 2 options that'll appear for you. Either doing the correct ending, which is where Goku gives up and tags in Gohan. Vegeta's case, he is overwhelmed after the final flash fails and then Cell destroys him. Or, for Piccolo's case, he just tells 17 to run, and Imperfect Cell blasts a hole in him, causing him to pretty much die in punctuations, because Piccolo technically survived in a way, which made no sense. How did he survive? But you know, it is what it is. But anyway, but yeah, there are 2 different options, and you can actually choose the second option, and the second option will cause one of those 3 characters to actually keep going. If you choose the second option in Goku's battle with Cell, which is where Cell offers you to have a sensu bean, and you can actually choose that option, and then the battle will resume. But there's a special reason to why I know for a fact no one has ever seen these endings. Is because when you choose the second alternative choice, Cell will have his level completely buffed. This is why I feel no one has ever seen these endings in this game. Now, obviously, I'm talking about it, so I've clearly seen these endings. Well, yes, I have chosen the second option. because I was very curious to see what actually happened. If you choose the second option for one of those three fights, in Vegeta's battle against Perfect Cell, Cell is now level 80, Cell becomes level 90 against Goku, and Imperfect Cell becomes level 75. So yeah, you can kind of see why. Now, no one has truly ever seen these endings. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, no wonder why people don't see these endings. Because basically, you're dead. You're basically dead. You can't win no matter what. While, yes, that is indeed true, but that's not the title of this video. I told you, at the very beginning of this video, there are 3 alternative endings. And there is actually a way you can actually win these fights. And as I said, because I had this game on an R4 chip and not on a legit cartridge, you can probably tell what I ended up doing. Yes, it's not honorable. I did cheat. I did cheat to max the characters out to level 99 just to see what happens. Yes, I know, you people are probably like, oh, of course you had to cheat. Oh, you had to cheat to see this? Here's the thing. Would you rather sit there hours upon hours, possibly even months, or maybe even years, depending on how long it would take? Would you really sit there, spending the rest of your day, just grinding up to level 99 or level 80 or whatever, or even close to the level that Cell's buffed level is, just to see these endings? And besides, when you game over, your level gets reset back to whatever it was when you entered the mission. So there's always a good chance, after all that grinding, you could still end up losing, and you'll lose all your progress. So no, I was not gonna do that. Yes, it may not be honorable, but I feel like it was the only true way to handle it. But also, maxing out my levels to 99 really helped me, because it helped me unlock the Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, Father Son Kamehameha, Final Flash, the Special Beam Cannon, and Hell Zone Grenade. So in my opinion, it was all good. I unlocked all the big finishing moves. So after doing that, what happens? So now that I've told you guys I legitimately had to cheat, which I think is the only fair way to actually do it. So tell us, Patrick, what is these special endings to this game? Well, if you choose the second option, when Cell's level gets buffed, and you are able to, and you playing as Vegeta, you're able to hit the Final Flash on Perfect Cell and defeat him, he dies. He straight up dies. Perfect Cell straight up dies, and Vegeta becomes the hero of Earth. Yes. These are the unique endings to the game, and this is why I feel like no one has ever seen them. Piccolo, the Imperfect Cell, the Hell Zone Grenades, or whatever his finishing move is, on Imperfect Cell. No more Imperfect Cell. The androids survive. 17 and 18 do not become perfect. Do not become absorbed to Cell. And I also love how Perfect Cell basically says, "But I'm perfect," whenever he dies, whenever you deliver the final blow on him. And when it's Imperfect Cell, he's like, "No, my perfect form, but my perfect form," and then he just dies, which I think is hilarious. And also, Goku, you guys probably get it. You managed to beat Perfect Cell after getting Setsu beamed. Goku's able to defeat Cell, is able to defeat Super Perfect Cell, And Gohan's power remains a mystery. And Android 16 stays alive. And that's why I'm saying these endings are so unique and they're so rare. They're so godly rare, you never see it. That's why I've never seen anyone talk about this. Because no one has ever seen it. No one has ever bothered to go through the effort. Now, some of you may ask, well, okay, what if you tried to do it at the current level you were at and you didn't try to cheat? Well, then there's a problem. It becomes an unwinnable battle because basically Cell regenerates his health. His health bar gets completely regenerated, and you're only doing this much damage to him. So yeah, you can see why you have to resort to cheat codes in order to at least do some kind of damage to him. So overall, guys, yeah, that's the whole point of this video. I wanted to talk about the 3 unique endings in this game. And honestly, I liked this game. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was fine. I actually liked it. It was definitely hard and tricky, but I definitely enjoyed it. Because obviously back then, I was still a teenager, and obviously, back then I was still a teenager. So, but hey, you know, 3 unique endings. 3 unique special endings just to share with all of you. That nobody has probably ever heard of.